Hello, everybody, and welcome back to One Leeds here. I hope you're all doing fantastically. I can't even speak. Fantastically well, because Leeds aren't playing. I'm normally used to the flow when we're playing. So what's going on, everyone? I think there's a few of you watching now. I'm surprised we've got anyone, to be honest, with all the watch-alongs that are going on the YouTube platforms right now. But Leeds have got Wolverhampton Wanderers on Monday. So I'm going to try to be your Saturday 3 o'clock fix, because we can't get it with Leeds United today, can we? So I hope you're all doing really well, fantastically well. I'm not tripping over my speech right now. You all right, boss man? I am Harvey, thank you. Rhiannon's in as well. Easy now, Mac. How we all doing, everybody? So let's get into it anyway. We're here on your Saturday afternoon, as I say, trying to provide you the content that we can't get sort of anywhere else now with regards to Leeds United. So Wolverhampton Wanderers, a real test for Leeds, a real test. And listen, they're a team. I was having a chat with someone, one of my mates, and we were chatting about the teams that we're going to have to face. It's not just going to be about the teams that are at the top of the table, you know, your Man Cities, your Liverpools, and then the bottom maybe of the table in terms of Fulham and Sheffield United. We want to obviously finish 17th and above, obviously, hopefully. But if we can get to the middle pack, that'd be even better, you know. And to get to that middle pack, you need to beat that middle pack. We've got Wolves, we've got Leicester, we've got Palace, we've got Villa, all coming up. And then afterwards, we've got Arsenal. So we've got it's a really big game. This is on Monday night, because we need to pick up points. You know, we've got some really tough games coming up. I'd be interested to hear what you guys think in terms of result-wise, what you think we're going to get against Wolves on Monday. But longevity-wise, you know, our next 5 games, some really tough games coming up. But games we can win. But I think it's going to be a real test for Leeds coming up. So let's get into it anyway. What are we expecting with Wolverhampton Wanderers? Well, I hope you've all caught my tactical breakdown. I hope you've all caught my opposition preview. If you haven't, go check that out. There's more Wolves content for you to see on the channel. We've got fan cams coming out tomorrow, the predictions that all the usual fan cammers have for the Wolves game. But yeah, it's going to be a tough game. I think defensively, they're not going to come and play, to be honest. I thought they would initially, but I don't see that. I now don't see that. You know, after speaking to Finners, the Wolves fan who was on my opposition preview, it seems to be that Wolves are probably going to drop into a back 5. That's very familiar with what they're used to. Adama was dropping into that back 5, then breaking. But that doesn't look like it's going to happen. Obviously, they've brought some bodies in. But obviously, the big thing with Wolves now is what's going to be happening with COVID. What is going to be happening with COVID? We have no idea. The Wolves players interacting with Cristiano Ronaldo contracting COVID. So is that going to influence the Wolves setup? Nuno coming out already and massively criticising the international break. The fact that Wolves have had, I think it's 3 games in 10 days, or their players have had 3 games in 10 days. So it's a massive load on the Wolves players. So yeah, it's a huge turnaround for them. It's a big turnaround for us as well. We've seen the injuries of Cooper, Llorente as well, but we've got the return of Pablo Hernandez, which is huge. Rafinha, part of the squad as well. So yeah, it's all sort of, it's annoying in a sense for Leeds because of our centre-half predicament. But we know against Liverpool, we had Strike, we had Robin in that centre-back partnership, and they were brilliant together for me. I think we were very unlucky that game. So yeah, listen, I think we're going to be okay in this game. I'm predicting a 3-1 Leeds win. Get your prediction in the comment section below. Harvey, I appreciate the comment. Cracking name as well. Stolicia, I believe. Harvey Stolicia. How does this man post so much? Lots of respect. Yeah, it's the content, mate. It's the One Leeds community. There you go. But that's what I'm doing it for. I love talking about Leeds, and I hope you guys are enjoying the content. But yeah, so the COVID results are going to be absolutely mental with regards to Wolves. You know, are they going to have up to 5 players out? They will know tomorrow morning. They'll get the results back tomorrow morning. So the preparation is going to be difficult for Wolves at that point. You know, if you've got even 3 players out of those 5. So we'll have to wait and see with regards to that one. At the start of I believe they came back and they all tested negative. But it's going to be the prolonged effect, isn't it? Symptoms sometimes don't show. So we have no idea whether or not Wolves are going to have some really key players out, including, you know, Rui Patricio, Semedo. That could affect the whole dynamic. It'd be positive for Leeds in terms of their really good players out. But, you know, in footballing terms, we don't want to see anybody out of any lineup with COVID-19. We don't want to see anybody with COVID-19. It's a horrible predicament to be in. So yeah, I think how we've got to approach this game is just play our way. Play our way, gung ho. But I do think, as someone put in my comments, it is organised chaos. It is, it is chaos when Leeds play. It's sporadic. It's all over the place. But at the same time, it is organised. And I do feel that we're going to be able to get this underway. I do feel that we're going to be able to beat Wolves. I think we've got enough. I don't think they've started the season extremely well. Defensively, they look a little bit lax. Is that going to be improved against Leeds United? You'd maybe think so, in terms of them sitting back, because they are going to sit back. Wolves are a very dynamic team, as I've said, on the flanks, but what they try and do is counter-attack. It's counter-attack, counter-attack, counter-attack. They've had a lot of joy with Pedense as well. Adama Traore, we know, is going to be the big threat. Jimenez, Adama Traore and Jimenez have got a wonderful partnership. Assists and finish-wise, it's at the top of the tree, so they're a very dangerous duo. But will Adama start? I don't think he'll start, and that's going to be maybe the emergence of Neto, and we're going to see that instead. But yeah, I think initially it is going to be a five at the back for me. Gordon, thank you so much for your compliment there. Great content, Connor. Enjoy your broadcast. I wonder if Harrison and Rafinha will play Monday. Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting one. We saw them in training, didn't we? We saw Rafinha getting hold of the ball a lot, and he was sort of part of that close group, wasn't he? Which was really interesting. He was part of that close group that was training, that was part of it, with Rodrigo and Hernandez and Ayling and not Cooper, obviously, but I think it was Robin. So it's going to be really interesting to see if he features. But obviously, we've got the return of Jack Harrison, which is pivotal as well. Wasn't featuring against Manchester City because of his parent club. So there were a lot of positives for Leeds. Yeah, we've got two of our players out. Good thing is, Llorente wasn't featuring anyway. He's not been featuring for Leeds. Cooper out. We've got a direct replacement in Struijk, who athletically and physically is as good as Cooper for me. He's a real presence on that pitch, and I thought he was brilliant against Liverpool, as I continuously say. So, yeah, as Craig says, Rafinha off the bench to turn the game on its head, and that's the thing now, isn't it? We have so many more options. We saw yesterday in Bielsa's press conference, he's going to be utilised in the cam role more often than not, Rafinha. That's the long-term aim. He's going to start on the wings, but he's going to be utilised in that cam role. That was the 10 purchase. We've got Costa, we've got Harrison, and off the bench as well, we've got Poveda, haven't we? We've seen so much in Poveda, over the past couple of games for me. So that's a really exciting thing to see as well. It seems like we do have a lot of options now, Leeds United. Liam, I've not given your dad a shout out for his birthday about a month ago. I haven't forgotten. So Liam, if your dad is watching, happy birthday for a month ago, mate. I apologise. There's been so much on here at One Leeds HQ. I completely forgot. So Mr. Dyke, happy birthday, mate. But yeah, so I think there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on now. We don't know what's going to come back with Wolves' COVID results. That's going to obviously make a massive influence on proceedings. Leeds stick to our game. We've got one player out, but we've got so many coming back. We've got Rafinha coming into the fold. We've got Harrison coming back into the fold. We've got Pablo Hernandez coming back into the fold. So, as much as we need to be aware of Wolves, Wolves need to be aware of us. We're higher than Wolves. We've got more wins than Wolves this season. So it's a big process for Leeds at this moment in time. And I think we'll be okay. I'm going to go for a Leeds United 3-1 win against Wolves. I think we're going to be a little bit too much for them. But what I do think is it is going to be a little bit of a nip and tuck game. And the reason behind that is because Wolves are going to have 5 at the back. They're going to be difficult to break down. Connor Cody, Roman Saiz, and then Willy Bolly are always difficult to break down. And when Leeds are implementing the overloads as well, they're very good at being physical in the box, knowing the roles, positioning zonally and knocking the ball out. They're very good at that. I think the defensive start this season hasn't been ideal, but I think overall they're a very defensively structured team. Finners, the man who I did the preview with, was essentially turning around to me and saying he never reverts out from the 5 at the back. So what they've been trying to do this year is sort of switch it up with the Mazzala formation, which is sort of the 3-4-1-2, which is where you go a little bit more attacking. But overall, I mean, Finn was just essentially saying that it's a back 5 and it's a counter-attack, and it's a pure venomous counter-attack that we've seen with Wolves for years now, even in the Championship. So we're going to have to break that down. This is going to be difficult in terms of, as Craig says here, it's going to be a case where we need moments of magic. And that's going to be the thing it really isn't it. Rodrigo coming on, or maybe even starting, Rafinha moments of magic, Pablo Hernandez. Look at those three creative players, and then you've got Harrison, Costa, Patrick Bamford, Click as well. So we've got so many outlets now after the transfer window, which is why it's so exciting being a Leeds United fan going into this game, because for me, we're the favourites going into this game. And a lot of people might disagree with me. And, Connor, you're getting above your stations. But for me, the way we've started the season, I don't think we've deserved to lose any game so far this season at all. So, yeah, I mean, we've only lost one against the best team in Europe for me, and we didn't deserve to lose that game. So we've got no one to fear. We've got absolutely no one to fear. And we need to go into this run now, because it's all about, I see it in stages, 4-game stages, 5-game stages, these little sort of short periods. And I think this period now where we've got Wolves, I think then it's Villa, then it's Leicester, Palace, Arsenal. We need to get this run off with a good win for me. And I think Wolves is a good opportunity for doing that. If we score against them first, they're going to have to come out. And don't get me wrong, they're a very dangerous attacking outfit. Of course they are, but I think we can handle it. And we can show our defensive aptitude as well. We can show how good we are at the back. Dallas against Traore is going to be an interesting battle. Of course it is. But yeah, as we know, and as we've said throughout, it's going to be one of those where Dallas has adapted quite well, and it's we're just gonna have to wait and see. But I think we'll be okay. Mr. Junction is kind of wearing an amazing royal blue hoodie featuring One Leeds. I am indeed, mate. You can get it in the link in the description below. Very comfy, coming into the winter months, it's a nice cheap option for a hoodie. So go check that out if you guys are interested. But yeah, I think it's going to be a really interesting game against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and the intensity that we're going to bring to the game. But defensive aptitude, that word is key in this preview, because both teams have great aptitudes for different elements of the game. Leeds maybe offensively, Wolves defensively overall. They're very good defensively last year. It's going to be who feeds into each other's strengths, who's going to play to the strengths, and are Wolves going to get fed into playing our gung-ho attacking football? Are they going to have to if we score early? Or is it going to be a case of Wolves scoring early and us having to break them down, which is going to be more difficult? That's it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's only been a really quick preview, 15 minutes, spent about 10 actually with the intro. I hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure you catch your football out. We've got another fan cams coming out tomorrow. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll catch you in a bit. See ya.